Hi, welcome to the Triathletes in Motion YouTube channel. I'm Mark Evans. Please take a look at our introduction video or our About section to learn about what we're doing. But primarily we're teaching the principles that are in the book Triathletes in Motion. And today we're going to talk about probably the most important swimming principle that you could learn, and it's called the front quadrant. It's from chapter 6. There's a small section in that particular area of the book and some diagrams that would be very useful. I'll try to insert those in this video. Essentially, the front quadrant is, if you were to think about the body in terms of sections, the front quadrant is the front section from basically the shoulders to the head, above the head. And throughout the stroke, underwater, at least one hand should be in that section, or in front of the head, or at least in front of the shoulders when you're swimming. It's for the entire stroke. And what will happen if you aren't in the front quadrant, if you're more of a what we would call like a gliding stroke, where you're pushing way back past the hips and there's kind of an extended glide, this is different. It's going to shift you to the front part of the stroke, and as a result of that, your hips are going to come up, which is a principal characteristic of good swimming. Level hips in the water, they reduce the amount of buoyancy force, right? Because if your hips are low, there's going to be a lot of water on top of the hips, so therefore your drag's going to increase. So you don't want to glide, and you don't want to finish past the hips, but what you want to do is to always work on this shift of timing to where the hands are in front of the stroke. One hand is in front of the stroke at all times. And I'll see if I can demonstrate that for you. This would be incorrect here. So you can see a hand's back here, a hand is actually below the hips, or below the shoulder line rather. So it would be more in this area. So as this left hand shifts, the right hand takes over. So that's the shift of timing. And what you'll do is you'll find that if you breathe earlier, so breathe upon this movement. So when that hand is actually catching or holding or anchoring, that's when you want to breathe or shift into the breath. In a glide stroke, you're going to press back and then you'll breathe, which is a late breath. Hips go down. So what you can do here is think about this. If you think about the hand and the forearm and even the high upper arm as a propeller, it's actually curved. The propellers are not flat blades, they're curved. So there's this kind of oblique characteristic. If you go in the front quadrant, you're going to have more still water, water that isn't moving backwards, and you're going to be able to anchor and hold into that. So here's what you want to do. First of all, video yourself above the water. Just get 5 or 10 seconds of yourself swimming, and then play it back, slow motion, or just drag your finger on your iPhone so you can see, and then pause it, and you can see very quickly whether one hand is always in that front quadrant. If not, you're going to practice, 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 and video. Practice video, practice video. With the iPhones or the smartphones out there these days, the video is even more important. You know, I learned that principle too, the video principle, a long time ago. I can sit and tell someone over and over and over again, but when they can see it and practice it, and this is how you make changes. But this clearly is one of the most important parts of the swimming stroke that you can do for freestyle, is learn to get into that front quadrant. I'm Mark Evans. Thanks for watching, subscribing, and sharing. We'll see you soon.